Twitter changes label on NPR account from state-affiliated to government-funded. That's correct. Elon Musk, CEO of Twitter, has made significant changes over the weekend and past week to many Twitter accounts, basically removing their validated blue tick, and he's also now been adding little tokens and little numbers and words to other accounts saying that they are basically government-funded, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's interesting because on the one hand, some people might say that he's abusing his power a little bit by singling certain companies out or certain businesses or Twitter accounts out. But at the same time, I don't think he's really doing anything that could be seen as bad. I think he is just doing what the average person would want to see. Now, I know a lot of these Twitter accounts that are run by companies and corporations probably wouldn't want this stuff to show up on their account. But at the same time, I think it's right that people do see when an account is government funded, because that could taint their view on the company. Obviously not so good for the company, but I think that does work better for the individual.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think it gives us as an individual to notice that, yeah, it's definitely funded by the government. You know it's not going to be true now if it comes from the government. And that just states it now. The news media is basically being funded. This goes back to our previous podcast to do with Facebook funding a lot of stuff as well to go against TikTok and everything like that. What telegraph do I actually believe? What accounts am I starting to see and everything like that? And is this the first of many that's going to start following the same light? Is Elon going to actually start this off, or is he going to be the one that remains with it? I mean, TikTok seems to stay on the old trail of what you see is what you get on there, and that's from us as viewers and as creators. That's what we're giving you, and that's what you're seeing. Like us today, we're not getting paid. We've started doing this, so there is no way on this planet that this platform is being government funded. So everything that we are telling you is what we can get from media. I think it's brilliant. I think he's absolutely changing the way that social media needs to be. He's fantastic at the way of doing it. He's obviously getting a lot of heart and souls that he's crushing. The government aren't going to want this for long.
No, that's very true. And I kind of think the thing with Elon Musk is some people don't like him for the way he seems to make irrational, sort of short-sighted decisions. But at the same time, if you've ever taken 5 minutes to learn anything about Elon Musk, you'd realise that he's probably smarter than most of the people you'll ever meet. He's not making decisions on a whim and not putting any thought into it. He's making decisions that he thinks can really make a difference. And love him or hate him, I think he is making decisions that are best for the everyday person, the everyday user of Twitter. That's
Elon Musk. That just goes to show who he is. I want to see what their reaction was to all of this massively. I want to see if these accounts have actually said anything, because I know the Times has come forward with their own statement, but the first thing they start off with is Tesla billionaire owner, shareholder, whatever you want to call him, not the CEO of TikTok. The CEO of Twitter. The CEO of Twitter. He's literally they've gone back to the case of he's a Tesla billionaire shareholder owner. Shut the fuck up. Take it as it is. He's just the CEO of that platform now. He's not Mark Zuckerberg, and he likes hiding and covering things up and looking like an alien. Yeah. And so what if you don't have your blue tick anymore, just because you weren't going to pay £1,000 a year?
It was
$1,000 a year for your blue little tick. Who cares? Who even looks at that anymore? Anyone could have it. There were actual hackers that were able to hack that onto her account. All Elon's done now is he's bought this social media and he's now got to make money back, like any businessman.
Yeah, and I think that's a kind of an important thing as well, is he seems to be in a very unique position and making quite interesting decisions that they seem to be both on the side of the business making money and also
the
on
normal
the side of the users using the platform.
Yeah.
But I assume that would make sense in a way because the users are the ones funding it, so doing what's best for them helps Twitter make more money. But at the same time, he seems to be making decisions that really do put the power back in the hands of the users and not in the hands of the big sort of businesses using Twitter.
Well, you can see it, can't you? You go onto that account and it says government funded. Are you really going to take your news from there whilst eating your freshly squeezed orange juice in the morning and eating your cornflakes? I don't think you're going to listen to them. No. And it's like a lot of people, it goes back It goes back years of people talking about media. Oh, don't listen to Fox News. It's horse crap. Don't watch CNN. It's full of lies and bullshit. Now, you can be one of those people that says, oh, I don't listen to the news. News is just there to scare you. All right, fair enough. That's fine. But you can't go around in your life every day burying your head in the sand like an ostrich, because it doesn't work. You know, like yesterday, we went to London and there was a guy that was arrested for carrying a knife. If I didn't go to London because a man was getting arrested for carrying a knife, no one would go to London. And then that would just be as it is. It doesn't mean just London gets knife crime. The whole of the UK has knife crime. But it just doesn't get highlighted. And just because it's the capital, it does. So, you know, don't let this be something that's just going to think, oh, you know, Elon Musk is this and that. And also, you want to talk about the reply.
Yeah, it's a very interesting way Elon Musk has gone about setting up auto replies to any reporters that try and get in touch with Twitter for comment on certain things. He basically just sends them back the poop emoji. That's all it is. No,
The auto reply.
just no words, anything else, just an auto reply of that. I'll try and put a screenshot up so you can see what that looks like. But I think that just shows that he's not a man who likes to be trifled with, just, you know, time wasting and that sort of bullshit.
Do you reckon NPR, one of their, moderators, tried that? They tried to reply to appeal it. Do you reckon they were like, oh, we're going to appeal this, bro? And I was like, poor emoji.
That's all they got back.
If you're going to be government funded, you might as well start talking about it.
Everyday people, they see these situations and they think, oh, how can people in these places of power, you know, how can they become...
How can they abuse it?
How can they abuse it? How can they become so corrupt? How can they take bribes? All of this sort of stuff. But I think what a lot of people forget is the average person, if they were in that situation, they'd probably be doing a lot worse. They'd be taking bribes left, right and centre. They'd be living the dream the best they could and
100%.
Probably not thinking about anyone else.
No, they think about themselves and their family at a time. You got given...
Yeah.
Someone left, $100,000 cash on the footpath. There's two types of people. One that take it to the police, one that take it home. The consequences that come afterwards is down to you. You either drag it into the police, you get guilt sinks in, you go, shit, I should have done that. Or you go home with that money and you get a knock at your door.
Do you even think if the average person took even £1,000 or 100,000, whatever it is, off the street and took it home, do you think the average person would feel guilty for it?
No, because those people that would take it are desperate.
Yeah.
And they would find something for that money.
I think they definitely find an excuse for the reason they took it.
Like $1,000, like you pick that up, that's your laundry, that's your washing, that's your shopping, that's your kids paid for.
Yeah.
You could even chuck it in your kids' college tuition. Do you know what I mean? Like a hospital bill or something, you know, or you hand it in, and then what happens to it?
Yeah, it just disappears.
It goes into the police's pocket.
I'd imagine in some places it probably does.
You know, so what did you do? You actually just went and took it from your hand and put it in someone else's hand, and it never went to where it needed to be. Or you get like the key of the city or whatever, like they show in those videos, and you get like the certificate, well done for handing in all this cocaine, kid. And he's like 11 years old, not a clue.
Award.
Good Citizen Award. And what does it get you? Oh, I got a Good Citizens Award. Yeah, kid, that means shit. Get out of the car, please. And they shoot you. Welcome to America, everyone. It's going to happen to all of them, I think. Anyone that's government funded, he's going to get everyone. So either come off social media now and stop feeding people bullshit lies, or carry on and get yourself branded. Ouch. America is going crazy right now, boycotting Bud Light. So if you haven't heard, Bud Light over the week has basically made that they've had an ambassador.
Yeah, they've kind of had a marketing campaign.
Their ambassador is their transgender woman who has been a man converted into a woman. If not a lot of you know what that is, go straight over on Google and Google it. But yes, so basically, whole of the United States has been boycotting it. They're saying there are rumours that the sales have plummeted. We don't know if it's true. We can't find it anywhere. We've seen a lot of people creating rumours and gaslighting it, saying that the CEO was sacked and he hasn't. He's actually resigned. So what I'd suggest a lot of people do is go and check it out, fact checker. But
yeah, there's been quite a few rumours that the marketing team have been fired as well, although that doesn't seem to be proven right or wrong.
We can't find it, can we?
No, same with most of the stuff. I think a lot of news outlets are just posting articles with, you know, rumour in the hopes they're going to get views. I don't know how true any of this really is.
But, you know, this isn't the first company to do it. You know, Coca-Cola done it famously a couple of years ago. They turned all the bottles with the gay pride. And just even any food or drink. There are construction companies out there who have done it. The JCB, there is JCB in London that has the gay pride flag that drives around in London every day that I see him, and he's always working. You know, this is quite a big, massive thing, especially for our generation right now, that there are people that are out there. All of a sudden, we've got our pronouns being, questioned, and what's the other word I shall say, amplified.
Yeah.
Everyone now is going along the line of he, her, you can't identify, and it's getting confusing. So if you're a bit like us, we're a little bit old school, we're both in our 30s, we don't actually give a shit. You be you, and I'll be me.
I think it's very difficult for both sides of the equation, because the people that don't really know what pronouns they should use are confused. And then the people like us who are just kind of very secure in the pronouns we've always used without even questioning it, we're now confused because we're wondering, well, should we be questioning it? Or, we're wondering why other people are questioning it. It's very confusing for everyone, I think.
Goes back to the days of, you would go, that man over there. That should be your description to the police. That man over there robbed that lady. I don't think in a minute you're going to be able to say that.
No.
And then how the hell are the police going to do their job?
I guess it kind of makes me remember of maybe 15 years ago, when people were getting kind of funny if a white person was to say that black person. You describe a black person as black. And I remember it was there was this awkward time where people were like, well, if there are two people dressed in the same clothes, one's black and one's white, how do you describe which one's which? If you want to talk about the black person, how do you say it without saying the black guy? Do you say the guy with curlier hair? Do you know what I mean? And I remember that was quite an awkward thing for a while. I think we've kind of gotten past that now, but it's the same sort of issue. It's
like when you watch Superbad, McLovin, and they ask him, in the shop, what was he? Was he Jewish? That is a simple questioning, what colour hair, what style of hair, did he have a hood, was he concealed, was he quite open with his, did he have rings on, tattoos? In a minute, you won't be able to say that. You won't be able to say anything about a person in case you're offending them. I mean, what about Alien Man? Alien Man, who has completely changed his complete appearance. Do you know what I'm going to say? It fair play. Honest to God, be you. If that's what you want to do, and you want to spend money and your money how you want, and you want to be changed into who you want, fair enough. But please do not expect someone like me to identify you as a lizard man, because that's how I had to put him in Google, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's how we tried to find him. We both knew who he was and what he looked like, but neither of us could really figure out the best way to search him. And there are a few people who are similar to him, or a few aliens like him, however they want to be described. And it was very hard to find the specific person we were talking about, because we were searching for Lizard Man, but apparently he goes by Alien. So
the Alien.
The Alien Man or something like that. I don't even know if he goes by man, he might just be Alien.
Is like a he or a
I'm
they?
not sure, he might just be Alien. I don't know if he's a gendered alien. I don't really know.
Alien or aliens or...
I really have no idea.
This is where it's getting confusing, man.
But it is very tricky. I would imagine at some point the scales are going to start tipping the other way, maybe back to some sort of balance where you don't have to worry so much about what somebody is. I mean, I think it is a valid concern if somebody wants to go by he or she. I mean, I can understand being offended if you're called the wrong one. That's fair. But then you do have people who do like to take it maybe too far and get completely offended when you use the wrong one, even though you had no context of knowing which one was the right one in the first place.
Well, you can always tell when someone's offending you. You know, body language and attitude. You know, straight away, if someone's calling you fat, you know, say, oh, that fat bitch or that fat asshole, that's straight away an offence. That's straight away someone is picking on you and going for your body shape. Now, if a doctor was to say to you, you've got fatty lumps, would you be offended? No, he's scientifically telling you that you have fatty lumps and you may have something wrong with you, an illness. And where do we go from there?
Fat is an interesting one as well, a good example, because if you were to say to someone, even describe someone, oh, that woman over there, or that fat woman over there, if, for example, maybe it's a bad example, but she genuinely is overweight, is there any point taking offence to that?
What's the only way you're going to describe her?
She knows she's overweight, she knows she's fat, technically, so if you don't mean it in a malicious way, is there any reason to take offence to it? Well,
this is it, and it goes back to it with the Bud Light. I mean, you're you're being offended by a man being on the can. I know I certainly am, because I don't want it being rammed down my throat. I want to be able to drink my beer with no political movement on it whatsoever, because we all know what the old saying is when you're at the pub, don't bring in politics about it, because it will start a fucking fight. Because before you realise, you'll be talking with someone who's a Liberal Dem, and then your Green Party, and your mate's Blue, and your other mate's Labour. It will just end in tears, and you just forever just in a one circle vicious battle. Now everyone's got their own views and everything like that. Fair play to the people that are boycotting this massive company that make alcohol. Yes, I don't mind Bud Light, and I'd like to put into retrospect that a lot of foreign countries are getting mixed about this. Bud Light doesn't mean it's a less percentage of alcohol, it's lower in calories. So that basically America's got a major obesity problem as it is.
Yeah.
So they created then a beer that has less calorie count. So obviously Americans continue drinking what they want. You know, and it's the same with all brands. Coors Light, for Coors, they've done the same. Coca-Cola Zero with Diet. You know, everyone's done it. Sprite have done it with Zero. You know, let's just get that right for one. It's not a pussy's drink. Bud Light is actually all right. I actually enjoy it. It's a bit of a different one. I only first started drinking it this year because my mate across the road gave it to me. And I ever thought, I'll try Bud Light. And it's just literally the calories. That's all that has changed in it. But when we start going down the line of this is our ambassador and everything like that, aren't anymore. You couldn't probably have a naked man wearing Bud Light stuff because it offends the men or something because he's got muscles or something. It would become toxic masculinity, or it would be women that were in like sports bras and bikinis or something that had like Bud Light. It would offend women because they'd say it's gender stereotypicalising women for men and it's just that they're only used for sex. We have offended like probably everyone in our time, and Bud Light, you've only just gone and offended the rednecks, the Republicans of America, because I don't know if the Liberals have stopped drinking it, and I'm going to put it out there. Don't forget that Bud Light's not the only one. It's Budweiser, it's Goose Island. We've got them all here. It's Corona Extra, Corona Light, Stella Artois, Beck's, Peroni. You know, this list goes on. We've got some major big names in here. Heineken, Carlsberg, 1664, Holstens, Guinness. We've got Carlin. You know, the list goes on. Coles is in there, for heaven's sake. You know, these are some major brands, especially across Europe, that people are drinking, especially ourselves. I love Heineken. I love Corona. I love Budweiser. I like Coles. I'm not going to stop drinking because of some stupid facade that's going to last for about a year, maybe less. They may even move this stunt as soon as possible, unless they're going to start bringing out, I don't know. I mean, don't buy it. Or buy the can, put duct tape over it. I don't know. Don't stop drinking it because of something else that's happening.
Sure. I mean, let's face it as well. I mean, as any adult who's drunk beer for, I don't know, a few years and has tried many different beers, most beers taste the same anyway. It really doesn't matter all that much. If you're really going to get bent out of shape over the fact that, I really love Bud Light, that was the best one. It's like, most of them taste the same.
There'll always be others. Like homebrew it.
Yeah, I mean most beers they taste the same. It's not that different. Like, I think you need to go for it. You know.
Yeah, you boycotting it as well is not going to stop it, because there will be someone that'll go, that's my mate that's on that can. They're going to buy 100 kegs of it because they think that's my mate and it's going to be worth millions. And who fucking knows? 100 years down the line, when we're disappeared off the face of the earth because we've obliterated ourselves, that might be the only bloody can that exists, and the aliens will come down, look at it and go, that's a woman. This is it. You know, if you're gonna boycott everyone, head over onto Google, type in the illusions of choice. I'm going to quickly show you it here. It's all there. Every list of every alcohol is going wrong. I don't know what I've done here, but we'll put it up on the screen, and it's going to show you every list and every manufacturer that's connected. And then if you want to go even further into it, look at what Coca-Cola owns.
Everything.
Everything. It's in everything. So if you want to stop drinking, I don't know, go and drill a hole in your back garden and start drinking from the centre of the earth. Because I tell you now, it isn't going to change. It's just going to get worse.
Do you know what? I think most people, maybe an unpopular opinion, but I think most people like having something to fight for and argue about, because let's face it, most people's daily lives are pretty boring. And I think when it comes to this stuff, people want to fight up to a point, and once they start going down the rabbit hole of realising that their favourite beer and their other 10 favourite beers are all owned by the same company, they're just like, fuck it, I don't care, I'll just drink it anyway. I think most people give up because they want something to fight for, but they're not really that invested in it. It's kind of like the flavour of the week, you know?
Honest to God, listen to what we're saying here. Don't be that idiot that's going to go, I'm not going to drink that. I kind of am. I'm kind of a bit like, shit, I don't really want to drink it. But at the same time, like my partner said to me, it's not on the cans here in the United Kingdom yet. Keep drinking it. Until it is, then boycott it. Yeah, but what am I doing? I bought the Coca-Cola bottles 2 years ago that had the gay pride on it. Heck, we even bought the ones that had names on them. There would have been people out there that would have said, I'm not buying it, it's not got my name on it. Sorry, your name's unique. Sorry, your name's like Casper or something. I don't know. Like, you know, the point is that the point that you're missing here is it's all owned by someone. There's always a greater picture here. So whatever you're going to do, you're just going to play into their hands anyway. And I think the best thing to do about it is, I tell you what, get on the home crafting. Let's just get everyone home crafting beer.
Everyone on the homebrew.
Everyone on the homebrew. But be careful because it's extremely explosive if you get it wrong. Apparently, I've been told this. And half of it's shit. Asahi. Japanese beer. Asahi Japanese beer. That doesn't seem to be in the list. Will it be? We don't know.
Hopefully you can keep drinking that one then.
That's it. So I'm going to put it out there. Asahi, please sponsor us. Buy Asahi. Get rid of Bud Light. So I think it's about now we talk about the murder of the owner of Cashapp, boblee. So boblee was stabbed the other night. There's been no update on it or anything like that. But there's been some tragic footage that's been shown of how it happened. How much do you reckon he was worth?
I reckon a fair bit.
A fair bit, yeah.
A fair bit.
So just before we done the video, we did quite a little bit of a quick research and a bit of a quick guess at how much he owned. So yours was like...
I reckon he was worth $600 million.
I would say around about the 180. Turns out before he was dead, it was worth 10 million. He was the owner of Cashapp, and that's basically all that we know from here. He basically was stabbed in... Where was it? San Francisco. So, very sad, but like, why was he stabbed? What happened there?
I guess it's hard to know because there's not really been a whole lot of news coverage on it. I mean, it has obviously been published online on places like The Independent, but it seems to be being hidden a little bit by all the other controversies that are going on at the moment. And obviously it's kind of sad because this guy was kind of a pioneer in terms of the cash app that he ran.
Oh, he's 43 years old. I thought the man had security.
I would assume he did, but it's hard to know. I mean, would someone who's the CEO of an app need to go out for security? Would anyone really know who he is on the street? I wouldn't have reckoned. I mean, I wouldn't know who he was.
No, most certainly not. I wouldn't have known who he was. You know, he'd been a normal guy passing me on the street, if anything. You know, I suppose it goes to the time of, like, you know, going a bit off on subject here. John Wick travels around on the subway still, and he has no protection.
Just for the record, I assume he's talking about Keanu Reeves and not John Wick himself.
Yeah, John Wick, Keanu Reeves. I don't know why. It's because I was literally thinking of John Wick, the film, for... No, we're not advertising that.
I was thinking, if John Wick's on the subway, he's probably going to be fine.
Oh, he's going to be absolutely murdering people, like left, right and centre.
He's the one who needs to be arrested.
Bit of a bumbler in that one there. But yeah, you know, like, and the Cash App, like, seriously, but what could it even be? Could it be a targeted attack? Could he have enticed someone to basically attack him? Could he have had something on, like some form of jewellery? They must have probably thought if they got hold of him, they could get some wealth off of him. It looks like it was quite a quick attack.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if you recognised the guy and you were obviously a nefarious kind of person, you might think he's probably going to have a fair bit on him that's worth some money that I could sell. I mean, whether any of this was ever intended to be a murder to begin with, we don't really know. Nobody seems to know yet. I mean, this could have been an accident, could have been robbing gone wrong. It's just very hard to know right now until there's more coverage on it.
Well, I don't think he'd have had any cash on him. It would have been all digitalised, wouldn't it?
He wouldn't have had any cash.
CBDC sort of thing going on there. Like, he would have been in the Cash App, wouldn't it?
He would have been.
You know, oh, yo, what they're going around with, like a deposit paid contactless machine, going, yo, give me deposit me like £100. You know, like, what the fuck, man? Like, no, like, ba-ding, tap.
Trying to rob him for contactless.
Little smiley face comes up on your iPhone. Well done. You know. It's a bit sad that apparently it was a car that went past. He basically the car ignored him. They probably thought he was going to fucking rob him because you don't know who's faking it anymore. It was late at night and everything like that. But like, what was he doing on his own? Like, if you go out with people, you'd go back with them or something, or...
I don't know, it's so hard to know. I mean, I don't know what this guy's daily life was like, but I'd like to think if, I had his sort of position of power and money, I don't think I'd want security following me around all the time. I think I'd want to just live a normal life best I could.
But it just seems a bit sus. Put the tinfoil hat on there. So yeah, there's been a lot of conspiracy being thrown out there as well that this was probably a government aimed attack. Like, this would probably be like some CIA top secret shit going on here that people have been talking about. If you want to know what I'm talking about, there's a guy on TikTok, or girl, he, them, who, whatever. Someone on TikTok has created a full-length video about the conspiracy behind boblee. I'm not going to put that on Google now, as I've probably just been added to a list.
You're on some conspiracy theory nut list.
My woke Google went, nah. All I can say is that it's a bit sad that he was left to die on his own, pretty much. There's footage of a CCTV that's been shown, and no one helped him. They had a passerby, he kind of avoided him, and then another passing by, as you can see, struggles, he hits the floor, and then they drive off again.
Yeah, that's a good question. If you were driving along and you saw someone in some sort of situation, would you stop in every situation?
I'd probably stop, keep the windows up a bit, and I'd probably ask if they're okay, and then any hint of movement, I'm running. I ain't getting out the car, showing my whole body exposure, with the door open, leave keys in the ignition. I'd probably call ambulance or something. But you don't know, do you? We've all seen the films, like the... Yeah. Let's look at the book of Elon. He gets ambushed at the back of a bridge, and they try and pretend one of them's injured or they want water, and then all of a sudden it's like 8 other guys come out with machetes and knives and chainsaws. He gets surrounded. So seeing all these films and all that kind of teaches you. So it probably, those people probably did the right thing, but the wrong thing.
I think they did the right thing for them, which...
Safe, innit?
Is that always the right moral choice? Probably not, but... It's so difficult to know what anyone would do in that situation. Like, if I saw someone saying they needed help, or someone in the middle of an attack, I'd like to think I'd help them, but it's so hard to know until the moment.
No, exactly. That's a police thing. But those types of hours as well in the morning, you don't know if you're going to get robbed. And that's probably what people thought. So, let's take it a bit back from that. That people probably didn't avoid him or ignore him. They probably didn't know who he was, for one. And they probably couldn't help him anyway. So the truth of the matter is that he'd had an ambulance called, and by the time that he died anyway, he would have died to the paramedics arriving as well. This could have just been a mugging that's gone bad, to this could be an attack.
Yeah, I mean, that's the
no
thing.
one knows.
We don't know if it's related to the cashapp at all. It could be completely unrelated. It could have been a completely unrelated mugging that went wrong. We just don't seem to know right now. Meme of the
week has been changed to meme of the month, as we are finding it hard to actually find what ones we're liking. So meme of the month goes to Team Robinson with Coffin Flop in Spectrum of Funerals. The one where he says, "I didn't do shit. I didn't fucking rig this. I'm not worried about it." That's fucking brilliant. So if you guys have seen it, head on over to TikTok and get on there. YouTube as well. Get and find him out. He's a fucking brilliant guy. And I just found out that he was in Aqua Squad from Robot Chicken, which you actually haven't seen, have you? And you thought it was fucking strange.
I've never actually watched it, and it looks amazing.
Shake, fries, and meatball. Fucking brilliant. So Seb, the host, who's our editor as well, is going to chuck into him. So if you got anything to abuse at the editor on any of our editing, or anything to do with the microphone or anything like that, email Seb.
I'm sure
send some hate mail there.
Things.
No bombs, please. We don't want any mail bombs. Don't want a uni bomb or shit. And thank you for listening again. You've been Great with your comments. You know, keep up the hate. We love it because publicity's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, not all of you have been great with the comments, but some of you have.
Who gives a shit? Add more. We don't care. We've just started doing this. Let's keep this going. And we want to hear from you as well. So just chuck some shit in there. Anything. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want us to talk about, and you want your opinion on it, just hit us up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow. And with TikTok, don't forget to like and follow. It's been me, Tom, and Seb. So we're going to see you next week.
Yeah, see you later.